What's in the box?
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
By 1986, Stephen King was the unabashed master of terror, not only pumping out 23 best-selling books over the past 12 years, but also seeing many of those books get adapted into hit movie after hit movie, some of which King was starting to write the screenplays for himself. So it only seemed logical to him that he ought to extend his reach and direct one of these adaptations as well. But then again, he was on enough cocaine back in those days to make Jordan Belfort weep. The end result was Maximum Overdrive, which King adapted from his 1978 short story, Trucks, a bone-chilling tale of inanimate objects of modern technology turning against their human masters when Earth passes through the tail of a passing comet and brings them to life. But for the film adaptation, King made an odd decision in taking out next to all of the terror and suspense and replacing it instead with a guy getting a soda pop chucked at his nads. Not to say that's a bad thing, because even though Maximum Overdrive is galaxies away from being the masterpiece of terror its marketing claimed it to be, it is a great excuse to see a lot of things blow up real good, and to see a lot of people's heads smashed into the grill of a diesel truck. It's truly a movie for the guffawing redneck in all of us. Speaking of guffawing rednecks, that's exactly who ends up being the quote-unquote protagonist of our film, as most of the film takes place at a greasy spoon truck stop in North Carolina, where Commissioner Gordon runs the place with an iron fist, and all the recently convicted employees are too scared of breaking their probation to tell him off. The one who ends up being our quote-unquote hero is a young punk named Bill Robinson, played by Emilio Estevez, who notices the strange phenomena happening around the place. Arcade games electrocuting their players, a gas nozzle spitting in the eyes of their mechanic, and carving knives cutting the waitress's arm.
Hey, that knife go rabbit on you, sweet thing.
But shit gets truly real when trucks start to surround the truck stop, despite not having anyone driving them. These monsters on 18 wheels are led by a truck which bears the iconic face of the Green Goblin on its grill, and therefore makes a far better Green Goblin than Dane DeHaan would ever hope to be. Slowly but surely, the trapped denizens of the Dixie Boy plot their escape from their gas-guzzling overlords, with the help of a lucky few who made it past the watch of the trucks, including a newlywed notably played by future Lisa Simpson, Yeardley Smith. Though she ends up being by far the most annoying character in this film, it is truly a delight to hear Lisa Simpson swear up a storm.
Oh shit, I'm sick of this shit, you goddamn asshole!
That's the film's biggest problem. The characters really aren't drawn out that well or worth rooting for. In fact, it's pretty hard to discern which ones we want to see make it alive by the film's end. The only reason we can tell Emilio Estevez is supposed to be our hero is because, well, he's the first build in the movie's cast. This movie lacks the great characters that makes other Hillbillies vs. Aliens flicks such as Tremors and Slither so good, but at least it does have some great dialogue.
What are you gonna do, huh? Run me down? Shit, that'd be like a junkie trying to run down his connection.
You boys are just as crazy as a couple of rats in a putting up shit out.
And you, sir, are without a doubt one of the biggest fuckheads I've ever met in my life.
And to be fair, Stephen King himself admitted that he wanted to make a moron movie, where you have to leave your brain at the door to enjoy what you're watching. And though I hate filmmakers using that defense, looking at you, Michael Bay, it's quite appropriate here. The cast is energetic, the action is well executed, and the gory set pieces are insanely memorable. Oh, and did I mention that this film also has the benefit of a delightful score by none other than
AC motherfucking DC!
That's right, the Australian Monsters of Rock themselves contributed both new and classic music to this flick, which automatically makes this movie 999% more awesome. So for this soundtrack that rocks, AC/DC, I salute you. Yeah, that was a stretch, I apologize. Bottom line, if you disregard this flick's many plot holes and questionable directing choices on King's part, Maximum Overdrive proves to be the very definition of dumb fun. Though it clearly shows why Stephen King was only meant to write scary stories and not execute them to film, it is a good time to see him try. And when you add a soundtrack this good, who can ask for anything more? Now, the machines may revolt against us, but alcohol never will, so play along at home with our patented drinking game. Take a shot or drink every time something blows up, Someone else dies. Lisa Simpson screams make you want to stick a needle in your eye. God, it's like the baby from Eraserhead trying to sing Bjork songs. Make it stop! The movie switches to slow motion for no apparent reason. Angus Young tries doing the psycho stabbing music with his guitar. And take a double shot when Stephen King makes his obligatory cameo in the film.
This machine just called me an asshole.
Huh, that ATM must have just seen Dreamcatcher. And on the nudity watch, even though Emilio Estevez gets it on quite a bit with his love interest in this flick, no boobies or ass are brought out. Oh, all that murdering and violence is okay, but boobies too, whoa, that'd just be crossing the line. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from Bull to Bruce, Maximum Overdrive shifts its gears and reaches a speed of a solid 8 out of 10. I, for one, hope we get a sequel to this flick that crosses over with the upcoming Cars 3, and we get to see Emilio Estevez blow up Tow Mater with a fucking bazooka.
I know that made George.
I'm Jesse Shade signing off for JoeBlow.com, remaining surprised Stephen King still thinks this is the worst adaptation of his work to film. 2 words for you, dude. Shining miniseries.
Joe Blow!